This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
.15 p.m. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by Dulmin Samarasinghe, assisted by Nilusha Jayamanna and read by Mario Vijayawardena. The headlines. Laptops are provided under concessionary terms for university qualified students. The Employees Trust Fund becomes Asia's biggest fund. Minister Nimal Siripal de Silva says that the plantation companies will not be allowed to violate labour rights. All grades in schools will commence from the 15th of March. In foreign news, the UK mulls tougher testing for international rivals as virus variants spread. In sports football, Bayern Munich progresses to the FIFA Club World Cup final. Providing laptops under concessionary terms to students qualified to enter universities has taken place under the patronage of President Gotabaya Rajapaksa. The President handed over documents to 6 new students at the Presidential Secretariat this morning, marking the inauguration of the program. It is being implemented by the University Grants Commission with the support of People's Bank. 3,000 million rupees has been allocated by the People's Bank for the project. The laptops are being provided with internet connections, software and a 4-year guarantee period. The loans will be given, enabling students to repay the value of laptops in 6 years after securing employment. An order under the Employees Provident Fund Act was passed in Parliament today. Presenting the motion, Minister Gamini Lokuge said that the Employees Provident Fund has become Asia's biggest and most important fund. Minister Nimal Siripal de Silva pointed out that large number of Sri Lankans are employed overseas and laws will be introduced soon to provide them with provident funds. He said that the daily wage of estate workers was increased by the Wages Board. The minister further said that plantation companies will not be allowed to violate rights of the workers. Opposition leader Sajid Premadasa said that steps were taken to increase wages of the estate workers through wages boards since discussions with plantation companies were not successful. He pointed out that it has violated the workers' rights. MP Vijitha Herat said that the government did not have a proper plan to increase the wages of the estate workers, which led to many issues. The Education Minister Professor G.L. Peiris announced today that all schools in the Western Province will reopen on the 15th of this month with the approval from the Health Services Director General. Accordingly, 412 schools out of 492 in the Western Province will reopen on that day. The remaining 80 schools will be opened on the 15th of March with the commencement of the new school's term. Professor Peiris said special attention has been paid with regard to conducting the GCE O-level examination from the 1st to the 11th of March. The police said today that stringent action will be taken against those who organize parties or events illegally on Valentine's Day, on Sunday, without the permission of the health authorities. Police spokesman DIG Ajit Rohana said information had reached that several individuals are organizing parties and events through social media. He said considering the prevailing COVID-19 situation, there is a risk of the emergence of new clusters or sub-clusters for such events or parties. He said it is prohibited to organize such events without obtaining permission from health bodies. DIG Rohana urged the youth not to attend such events under any circumstances, as those are considered illegal. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
People's Bank introduces the Parinatha Vishrama loan scheme to honour and empower pensioners.
State Minister Consultant Dr. Sita Aramipola says that the target is to build a labour force with skills. She said the economy of the country can be strengthened only by developing human resources. She mentioned this while attending a function today at the National Apprentice and Training Authority. The ceremony has been organised to hand over letters of appointments to the new staff of the authority. The State Ministry of Rural Roads and Other Infrastructure under the Ministry of Highways has planned to construct 5,000 rural bridges across the island. The Cabinet of Ministers has given the approval for the proposal tabled by the Minister of Highways to implement the project. These constructions are proposed under the government's 1,000 kilometre rural road network rehabilitation programme. Opposition leader Sajith Premadasa says that the banking system makes a significant contribution to maintain the financial stability of the country. He said in Parliament today that policy decisions taken by the government directly affects the banking system. He said that certain parties have been provided with various financial concessions. The opposition leader emphasized that it is not suitable to take decisions that will have harmful effects on the financial sector and the banking system. The Colombo Fort Magistrate Priyanthaliyanage yesterday ordered the release of 6 suspects including former UNP MPs Ravi Karnanayaka, R. Yogarajan, Ajit P. Pereira and Samagi Janabalavege MP Nalin Bandara from a case filed against them for allegedly trespassing into the Sri Lanka Nidahas Sevaka Sangamaya premises at the Ports Authority in 2014. The Colombo Fort Magistrate made the order following the Attorney General's advice not to proceed with further legal action against the suspects. Sri Lankan Airlines has signed an agreement with the BMICH in Colombo to promote MICE tourism. Under the agreement reached with Sri Lankan Holidays under Sri Lankan Airlines, the BMICH has agreed to provide special rates for facilities obtained by them. The Chief Executive Officer of Sri Lankan Airlines, Vipul Gunathilaka, said that tourists arriving on MICE travel in the country spend more during a short period of time than the tourists who arrive on vacation. Recent statistics show that only 91,645, which is 2.2% of the students out of 4,061,653 students in government schools study in a medium categorized as bilingual, which includes the English medium. There are only 33 schools that teach all 3 major languages. These statistics were made available in the school census report of 2019 released recently. The medium categorized as bilingual includes Sinhala English and Tamil English. There are 542 Sinhala English schools and 168 Tamil English schools. This is in contrast to 24.1% of students in private schools who study in the bilingual English medium. The majority of students in private schools are in the Western Province. The body of the 3D animation artist who went missing at the Madulsima Small World's End has been found today by the Special Forces troops of the Army. The Army personnel conducted the search operation for 3 days through heavy mist and inclement weather to find the body. They scaled down 1,200 feet using raffling ropes to find the remains. The Army Commander General Shavendra Silva has paid special attention towards this incident. That's local news.
People's Bank introduces the Parinatha Vishrama loan scheme to honor and empower pensioners.
මෙච්චර අඩු පොලියකට
අපේම දරුවෝ වගේ අපට සැලකිල්ල.
A mother knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddhalepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. Siddhalepa, the Veda Mahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
The Ministry of Health says that the total count of coronavirus recoveries reported in Sri Lanka has exceeded 65,000 today. With 912 more patients being discharged from hospitals following complete recovery from the virus, the total number of recoveries recorded in Sri Lanka reached 65,053. Sri Lanka has confirmed a total of 70,235 positive cases of the coronavirus so far. 4,817 of them are still under medical care at hospitals and treatment centres. That was our main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddhalepa.
And now in Watchlight, The Central Environmental Authority assured that the ban of using polyethylene, terephthalate and polyvinyl chloride materials for packing agrochemicals and sachet packets will be banned from the 31st of March. In addition to this, manufacturing cotton buds with plastic stems and inflatable toys will be banned from this date too. That was Watchlight.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
From the first step you take till the time we meet, the trusted leader prioritizes you always.
All you need under one roof. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
In world news headlines, the UK mulls tougher testing for international arrivals as virus variants spread. South Korea Prime Minister pleads for COVID-19 compliance ahead of Lunar New Year. Myanmar police fire into air to disperse protest. British Environment Secretary George Eustice said today that Britain is looking at greater testing of all people who have arrived from abroad while they are self-isolating to defend against new variants of the virus that cause COVID-19. Airlines have been brought to their knees by the pandemic, with travel restrictions forcing once fast-growing brands like Norwegian to fight for survival, while established names like British Airways have raised cash and laid off thousands of staff. South Korean Prime Minister Chung Si-kwan today called on restaurant and other business owners in the Greater Seoul area to cooperate with social distancing rules to head off a spread of COVID-19 during the Lunar New Year holiday. The country has been trying to clamp down the number of infections by imposing strict social distancing measures, including a ban on indoor restaurant dining after 9 p.m. It eased that curfew on more than 500,000 restaurants and other businesses outside the capital Seoul after a backlash. Police fired gunshots in the air and used water cannons and rubber bullets today as protesters across Myanmar defied bans on big gatherings to oppose a military coup that halted a tentative transition to democracy. Witnesses said police fired guns into the air in Nyapitiao as a crowd refused to disperse on the fourth straight day of protests. One witness told media the demonstrators ran away as guns were fired into the air. A doctor said 3 people brought to his hospital had been struck by rubber bullets. And now the main points of the world news segment once again. The UK mulls tougher testing for international arrivals as virus variants spread. South Korea Prime Minister pleads for COVID-19 compliance ahead of Lunar New Year. Myanmar police fire into air to disperse protest. That was world news.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
From the first step you take till the time we meet, the trusted leader prioritizes you always.
All you need under one roof. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
And now in development news, Tourism Minister Prasanna Ranatunga said steps will be taken to set up tourism training schools at a district level in line with the President's policy document Vistasa Prosperity and Splendor. Accordingly, 4 new hotel schools are planned to be opened this year. He said addressing a progress review meeting of the Sri Lanka Institute of Tourism and Hotel Management recently. That was development news. And now in sports news. In football, Robert Lewandowski scored twice to Bayern Munich progress to the FIFA World Cup World Final by beating Al Ahly in Qatar. The German champions dominated the first half and deservedly took the lead when he slotted in. But he made sure of the win with a late header for his 29th goal in 27 appearances this season. Bayern Munich will play Mexican side Tigre in the final on Thursday. In tennis news, defending champion Sofia Kenin made a nervous start to her Australian Open defence, while former winner Victoria Azarenka was knocked out after seeming to struggle with her breathing. American Kenin was in tears before a 7-5, 6-4 win over Australian wildcard Madison Inglis. Meanwhile, Azarenka needed an inhaler in a 7-5, 6-4 defeat by Jessica Peguela. In Super Bowl news, the White House yesterday said President Joe Biden will invite the U.S. Super Bowl champions and Tampa Bay Buccaneers and last season's NBA champions, the LA Lakers, to the White House once it is safe. The Lakers said in early January they look forward to visiting the White House once Biden took office after reigning basketball teams had skipped the ceremonial visits during the 4 years President Donald Trump held office. In cricket news, England has won the first test against India in Chennai. India has a target of 420 for the victory, but they were all out for 192 runs. That was sports news.
Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money.
The delegation of the German Industry and Commerce in Sri Lanka said that a record 176 German companies have pledged their commitment to Sri Lanka's market. Chief Delegate of German Industry and Commerce in Sri Lanka, Andrea Hagentrotter, said at the launch of the Top German Brands 2021 that despite the COVID-19 pandemic, 176 German brands have joined Top German Brands 2021, which is an increase of 13% compared to last year. Top German Brands is an annual event organized by the German Industry and Commerce in Sri Lanka. That was Business News.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money.
Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply.
Economic news. Courtesy of...
Hello, Puta. Did you land already?
We're in transit and our flight got delayed.
How is Shani? Poor thing with her pregnancy.
Calm down. Everything is sorted. Why, I have my LOLC World Card with me. We are at the VIP lounge.
LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
The German government recently announced that it is ready to finance ventures up to 50% of the investment projects in a number of sectors which meet both commercial and development goals. The German Federal Ministry of Economic Cooperation and Development said that it is willing to fund up to 50% of the project cost under its Develop PPP.de program to foster the involvement of the private sector in areas where commercial opportunities and development policy goals overlap. That was Economic News.
Congratulations on your promotion. Heard you gave a treat for everyone in your department yesterday.
Yeah.
When will be our treat, huh?
Well, how about today?
Oh no, I was just joking. We'll have a party with your new salary.
It's fine. I have my LOLC credit card with me. Let's go out today.
Those who spread goodness radiate happiness to everyone around them. Introducing LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
And now for the weather report. The Met Department says that showers or thundershowers are likely at a few places in the Sabargama province and in the Gala, Matara and Kaluthara districts during the evening or night. Misty conditions can be expected in the central Sabargama, Uva provinces and in the Gala and Matara districts during the morning. That was the weather report. And now the headlines of this news broadcast once again. Laptops are provided under concessionary terms for university qualified students. The Employees Trust Fund becomes Asia's biggest fund. Minister Nimal Siripal de Silva says that the plantation companies will not be allowed to violate labour rights. All grades in schools will commence from the 15th of March. In foreign news, the UK mulls tougher testing for international arrivals as virus variants spread. In sports football, Bayern Munich progresses to the FIFA Club World Cup final. That concludes this news broadcast, and now it's back to your host, Niranjan Abesundara, to keep you in great company this Tuesday evening. You are in safe hands with Niranjan. Over to you, Niranjan.